Hey everyone, Big Dave, and we're here to talk about leadership burnout. Hmm, What is that? It's when you're a leader and you're like, can't do this anymore. I'm done. I'm toast. Well, you say those words, you burn out. And here's the crazy thing. A lot of people wear burnout, like they're working so hard, as a badge of honor. Well, I'm going to bust some bubbles on this one, but that's a choice. It is. Now, it may not be readily apparent to you, but your burnout, 9 out of 10 times, is a choice. Let me explain why. The reason why burnout's a choice really comes down to our attitude. When their attitude is, it just comes with the territory. It's a badge of honor. This is how and what we leaders do. No, because when you're burned out, that basically is a way of showing that I need to control everything. And if you're controlling everything, you haven't taken the time to really empower your workforce. And if your workforce is truly empowered, how are you burned out? Now, it may be a different challenge. It may be you don't like that challenge anymore. It may be it doesn't fit you. Maybe things ahead of you, above you have changed. Sure. But it's not really burnout. It's the difference now in what you want versus what you did want as a leader. So there's a difference there. So too many leaders have a dangerous drug of wanting to attach themselves to everything. And that sensation sticks with them. And every single time they're like, I got this. I'll take care of it. Leave it with me. I'm on it. Though that is a wonderful trait. You got to have a balance between whether you're doing it or as a leader, those who work with you are also doing it, not necessarily with you, meaning that you're not in the day-to-day. You're overseeing it. Overseeing it. How could I do that? That's why you're burned out. You know, when you look at managers and leaders, oftentimes I find people are really confused with what's necessary versus what keeps them busy. And there's such a difference. So much of what you work on isn't necessary. People always ask me, how do you get through everything you need to get through so fast? Because I'm only focused on what's necessary, not all the noise. And if you can't see that, you're not leading yet. You can, but not yet. You're not leading yet. My question really comes down to if you're a good leader or not a good leader, ask this one question. If you step away, does the business fall apart? And if the answer is yes, you're not a good leader. The answer is no. Good job, man. You've done what very few can. You know, I really want you to break free from the belief that this is how it has to be. I want to break you into a new set of beliefs that you don't have to have control of everything. I don't want you thinking this is how it has to be anymore. I want you just to start seeing things from a different perspective. If I have defined you and you're sitting there going, oh my God, that's me, I want you to listen. Listen closely. I'm going to start with a story. And this is years ago. I used to want to be involved in every part of the decisions. I used to get even mad at my boss, but I wasn't. And Mike was the name of my boss at the time. And I still remember him saying, you know, I have a thought process too that I need to go through in order for us to come to a conclusion, and then we can talk about it. Just because you're ready to talk about something doesn't mean that I am. So I wanted everything to go at the pace I wanted it to go. I wanted everything to be in control, and I just wanted to know and check and be, and I on every single thing. And then what happens? You go on vacation, everything still comes your way. On a weekend, everything still comes your way. And then you get burned out, and you're really not developing anyone that works with you. Not at all. Yeah, you're getting shit done, but you're not developing anything. So the moment I learn to let go and empower, and I can start empowering people and holding them accountable to clear objectives, the world changes. Because now you're coaching and leading, and the doing becomes less, and you're building an empire of wonderful people. I'm going to give you three, as I always like, three truths about this. I want to call them the truths to freedom. I think my voice just pitched. I'm going to leave it because it'd be fun. You know, a saying that I always like to say is, you're not tired because you work too hard. You're tired because you work on the wrong things. Ain't that the truth? And the funny thing about working on the wrong things is you do that over and over again. And then that's why you're tired. Also, you work on the wrong things being defined as you work on what you like, not that's necessary. Oh, that's so. I want you to ask yourself, and the truth on this is, you don't have to be this way. And you find this out by asking yourself this question. What do you do every day that can be automated? Oh, wow. Did someone say AI? What do you do every day that can be automated? I guarantee you there's lots. Here's the next question. What do you do every day that's a decision that shouldn't be made by you? Hey, you're in your head, you're going, that should be made by this person. They're not making decisions, so I have to. All right, you already know the answers to that. So write them down. What decisions are you making that you shouldn't have to? That's number two. Number three, where are you needed? Because you never built the system. You've never built a plan that lays out the goals and who owns each part of each one. That's the system. What are you doing because you never built that? The answer is likely most of everything. You know, if your calendar is booked with all kinds of reactive work, you really don't have a business. You got a reactionary process. You need a system being defined as an actionable plan with definitions of who is accountable and when will each objective be completed. I know when people are struggling with this, and I don't want to make light of it because it's a real thing. They look at delegation as a weakness. If I do that, then all these people are going to fail. I can't give it to them. That leads me down to the truth number two. Delegation's a skill. It's a skill set that you can learn. Let's use the example I just mentioned. If you say, I can't leave it with them, one of two things. There's only two things. Because remember, we focus on accountability, and we focus on the plan, and we focus on that goal. If that person can't do it, you have the wrong person. Or you've never taken the time to explain the goal and have Q&A sessions explaining how you can get to those goals and ideas, and tell them that you want a plan created by them, brought back to you in order to achieve that. So you either got the wrong person or you didn't do the right thing. But if I've suffered from this, so I understand it. I used to think no one could do it as good as me or like, and that's not true. I mean, hell, I still think I can do things better than other people, but it's not true at all. And there's other ways to do things that are just as effective. So when you're saying things like, no one's trained, or I really can't trust anyone anymore, or, others want to do it different. I should hope so. So here's my challenge to you is start testing this second one with high effort, low priority items. Free up your time. Take something that takes a lot of effort, that's low priority. And if you're afraid of delegation, start there. Set it out, lay it out for your team, concise as possible, not dictated to in a way that they're not involved. The goal is saying dictated to, But how to achieve that should be them coming to you. And if they want to challenge the goal, listen. They could have very great challenges that you want to take into account. Then once that's put to bed, move along to how are they going to accomplish that. If they are stuck, give them ideas. If they only use your idea, tell them you want 3. There's all different ways to achieve this. And you have to get yourself out of this comfort zone and lead like you should. Delegate like you should. Grow yourself something that is now empowering for all of your people. And you will be so surprised on what your leadership skills do. Your skills will elevate because now you're focusing on an entirely different set of things that can move a company into an entirely separate, wonderful direction. Believe in your team. They'll show you they'll rise to the occasion. Number 3, you are number 3. Your ego is number 3. Ego. Woo! It's something else. We don't even know we're using it, and the ego can get in the way. So this can sting. You're going to go, I don't have that. Well, if I just describe what your company looks like, you sure as hell do. You know why you do? Because you want to feel important. That's why. You feel that if you're not doing it, you're not important. In the heart of hearts, that's what it is. The other part is you like being the hero. It feels good. Gives you that dopamine rush. Woo! Yeah, baby, the hero. I can do that. Then you feel real good about doing it. And those 2 things make you then feel the need to be in every meeting, in every inbox, in the middle of every meeting that's a fire. Until you remove yourself as the bottleneck, you're going to stay the bottleneck. Until you remove your ego, you're going to stay the bottleneck. Ego comes out of nowhere. It just shows up. Awareness is key for you as a leader. If what I described earlier is what you're going through, you have an ego problem. Look inside. It stings. It hurts. I know. But look at you. You might say, why are you so hard on me? I'm not hard on you. I don't even think you're failing if this is how you're operating. You're doing better than a lot of people out there. But you're not leading. And my job that I want to take on is to teach you to lead. What you're doing is being a one-man band, a one-man show. You're not leading. I want you leading. Just remember, burnout, not a requirement. It's a red flag. No good. If you're running on fumes and you're so frustrated, it's not because you're bad. It's because you're misaligned. You haven't taken the time to spend on the focused items. And sometimes your boss is the reason why it's unfocused. So sometimes you don't even have a whole lot of control. But if you're aware of this, there are all kinds of things you can do to refocus it. Real strength can come from you right now by accepting the challenge of taking these 3 secrets, these 3 truths, and implementing them in your life, becoming aware of them. Show strength to change and to start attacking this. Not defending yourself, strength in attacking of how you can improve. And each little bit matters. Remember, improvement doesn't come from 0 to 100. Improvement comes 0 to 5, 0 to 10, 0 to 50 if you're really lucky. That's improvement. You may not need more coffee. You need more clarity. You need a system. And you need trust. That's all I got, everyone. Thanks for a great one. Talk to you all soon.